Hey YouTube, hey everyone. Today's video will be about IBM Cybersecurity Professional Certificate. I'm going to be reviewing this certificate, this professional certificate actually. Uh, you may have heard about this certificate recently from IBM, and now IBM has, they have implemented and they published the course on Coursera. So it's composed of, as you can see, 8 or let's say 7 courses and one final assessment. So you can take the course, you can prepare for the course exam on Coursera, you can take the 7 courses, and at the end, you will attend the final exam on Coursera, of course. And if you pass the exam, believe me, guys, the exam is very hard. It is very different from all of the exams on Coursera. It resembles a real world exam where you go to exam center and you submit for the exam. It's the same. Normally on Coursera, guys, when you submit an exam or attend an exam on Coursera, you have the opportunity to view what are the questions that you have answered wrong and what are the questions that you have answered right. But in this assessment, you cannot in any way view or have an idea about the questions that you have answered wrongly, right? So that's what makes the assessment hard. And another part is the assessment is composed of 70 questions. 70 questions. I mean, I have completed many specializations and professional certificates on Coursera, as you can see, and I have been encountered across all of my experience on Coursera, as you can see. Also, I gained the System Security Certified Professional, Palo Alto Networks, all of these professional certificates, even from Google. All of the exams are very different from this exam, actually. So this exam is well thought, well prepared, well established. It's very hard. You cannot see what are the questions that are right or you have answered wrong. That's what makes the certificate valuable. I can see, of course, apart from other factors such as the quality of the content, the comprehensiveness, and the holistic approach of providing this course. So let's start by dissecting the course, let's say specialization, and dissect the specialization based on every course. So the first course, it's about Introduction to Cybersecurity Tools and Cyber Attacks. So let's see what this course looks like. What are the components of this course? So basically in week 1, I'm giving you an inside access, basically. Of course, you can view all of that if you have a Coursera account. You can log in, you can enroll, but basically the specializations or the professional certificates, they are not free. So you need to pay a certain amount of fee in order to view the content and have these certificates. Put that in mind. The first week is, as you can see, it's introduction about cybersecurity and cyber attacks whatsoever. So basically, you can see it has videos, all right. And at the end of every video, you have practice quiz. The practice quiz is not graded. It's not going to contribute to your final grade. By the end of every week, you will have a way to assess your knowledge by a graded quiz. Okay, so it goes the same for every week. Now, what makes this section different is when you complete the course, Introduction to Cybersecurity Tools and Attacks, you earn a digital badge. Okay, seems cool, right? So the digital badge look like this: Introduction to Cybersecurity Tools and Attacks, and it is hosted on a claim. I can remember the sites which host, to prove that you have gained or are certified. So you put a badge on that site. So when you complete the course, you gain the badge. Second week is about, and by the way, you have reading materials if you want to expand your knowledge beyond the videos of the course. So for every week you have readings, and in order to expand your knowledge. So week 2 here, I can see it is about types of actors and their motives. It's very important to understand the basic alphabet of cybersecurity, and to understand the basic alphabets, you need to understand the type of actors. the type of hackers, white hat, black hats, whatsoever, their motives. That comes handy when you work in cyber threat intelligence to study and make a profile or do profiling for your adversaries. Basically, it's the same structure, guys. Videos, quizzes, and reading material. Week 3 here, it is about security concepts, confidentiality, integrity, availability. Goes the same structure again. Week 4 is about cryptography, no? Yeah, firewalls. So stateless firewalls, application firewalls, packet filtering firewalls, and of course, the thing that I hate the most, cryptography. Overview about penetration testing and digital forensic and security intelligence. So if you are wondering whether to start a career in cybersecurity, you can just jump start on this course, Introduction to Cybersecurity Tools and Attacks from IBM, and here you will get an introductory knowledge about cybersecurity. And if you think that this is the right field for you guys from the knowledge, I can vouch for this course, for all the specialization. It's well thought, well prepared, well established, comprehensive, holistic. It has a lot of information, contents. Basically, myself, I will consider this course as a reference. So instead of having books whatsoever, I will get back to this course or specialization and drill down to the course that talks about the question in my mind, and then take a look. So the content is very valuable. Okay, so basically that's the first course. So take this course if you are new to cybersecurity, decide whether to go on or not. Now, the second course is cybersecurity roles, processes, and operating systems. Very self-explanatory, guys. You will get an introductory level about what are the titles in cybersecurity: information security analyst, architect, vulnerability assessment, the difference between pen testers, white hat, red team, blue team, the executive level, the C-level cybersecurity folks, whatever. And of course, operating systems, Windows, Linux, how they work, the file structure, directory structure, permissions. Let's take a look at that. So also week 1, of course, I'm not gonna explain the structure again. So basically, I'm gonna guide you guys what you can gain out of this course. So basically, also it explains the business process management. It goes over this ITIL stuff, the IT service management. So you can gain knowledge about this by going to this course. Week 2, what's unique about week 2, guys? It goes the same: access control, CI tried, authorization. Week 3, as I said, file system structure. And week 4, virtualization, cloud computing. So as you can see, there are some readings, as I said. So course 2, cybersecurity roles, processes, and operating systems. You can take this course if you have weakness in understanding how Windows or Linux works, how to understand the threads, the processes, the difference between kernel mode and user modes in Windows. Also understand the basics, inner workings, or gain knowledge about Linux file system, the permissions that are applied on files. So it gives a foundation about operating systems. And of course, you can take a look at the varying and miscellaneous roles implemented in cybersecurity field. The third course is about legal. So legals, it's divided between legal aspect and let me say best practices. So basically, it talks about cyber security compliance framework and system administration. For whom this course is considered? It's considered for those who want to drill down, to take basic idea about what are the cybersecurity frameworks out there, like PCI, DSS, HIPAA, ISO. all of these compliance frameworks, of course, the best practices like copy IT for information security auditing and other frameworks. So on this course, you can gain a uh, let's say you can take, I mean, everything. If you have weakness, let me say weakness in understanding frameworks and compliance, you can take this course and see what you can do with this knowledge. So basically here, if you go to this course, you can see it talks about, let's see, week 1. So here it says NIST, of course, for risk management, GDPR. Of course, these materials are not comprehensive, guys. So for every course here, it gives you an introductory level about the topic it talks about. So basically, when I say it's cybersecurity compliance framework and system administration, it doesn't mean that it dives into every single detail of these concepts. Of course not. It gives introductory level prelude about compliance framework, system administration, patch management, whatsoever. How frequently your company needs to do patch management. Week 3. So when I say system administration, it talks about Active Directory, as you can see, um, Linux. Week 4, again, it talks about cryptography in more details. Yeah, okay. Now the 4th course, network security and database vulnerabilities. Now this course is for those who want to establish, let me say, a base level of network knowledge. So networking knowledge is very important in cybersecurity, guys. Without understanding TCP/IP, the OZ model, routing, switching, the basic principle of DNS, DHCP, how the packets flow from right when you click on Google Chrome or Firefox, all the way till you receive the page you're looking for. You need to understand how the mechanism underlying this process. So this course gives a understandable idea about network security, networks, and then it dives to network security and database vulnerabilities like SQL injection, OS command injections, denial of service attacks. Let's take a look at that. So this is a more specialized level of cybersecurity. Of course, networks, it's not specialized level. Everyone who wants to delve into cybersecurity, they need to understand networks. But database vulnerabilities, network security, it's kind of more advanced than introduction to cybersecurity. So week 1. So as I said, week 1 here, TCP gives introduction about networks, of course, the difference between IPS, IDS systems, IP addressing and OZ model. It's the mini CCNA. Introduction to databases, as you can see, types of data, relation databases, structured data, monitoring. And week 4, SQL injection and OS command injection. Now, from 1 up to all the way, okay, the 5th course is pen testing, incident response, forensics. Now, guys, from course 1 till course 5, all of the knowledge that you will gain is theoretical knowledge. There is no hands-on labs, okay? You will not access labs to simulate like penetration testing real-world scenario, right? Or doing vulnerability assessment. You will not do any of that. You will just understand the basic principles, foundational knowledge, and a bit of details about network vulnerabilities, database vulnerabilities, penetration testing, the whole process. I mean, it's the whole thing that you need to digest in order to do the labs. But the bottom line is they don't provide you labs. They give you the theoretical knowledge that you need to harness when you are doing the labs on your own. So the knowledge here from course 1 to course 5 and every single detail mentioned from course 1 all the way to course 5 is very important. It's paramount for your performance when you do labs. That's what I'm talking about. Person who is first into cybersecurity. All right. Now, for a person who is advanced, or let's say intermediates, let's say a person who is actively working in the security field, either in red team settings or blue team settings, in the analyst side or in the tester side, let me say. So from course 1 to course 5, I will say that you guys, the senior guys, they can refresh on the knowledge they have and see they can do patch management for their weaknesses. If they have weakness in cryptography, like me, for example, I have weakness in cryptography. If you have weakness in incident response, you can do refresh on your knowledge and sharpen your skills on that with these 5 courses. So it's for beginners, mid level, and of course senior cybersecurity analysts. Whether you want to gain knowledge or refresh your knowledge, reference, I recommend this course. Okay, but I want to mention something about pen testing course. So what's unique about this course, guys, is what makes this course stands out from other courses in that talks about pen testing here is it walks you through the penetration testing reports. So here, pen testing reporting. So many of the courses on penetration testing, they focus on the labs, the practical side. They ignore, of course, not purposely, they ignore the reporting side. On the other hand, when you work in corporate settings, you must know how to create penetration testing reports, right? So you're not gonna just mess around with your clients' networks, tell them, hey, you have 1, 2, 3 vulnerabilities and 1, 2, 3 remediation. That's not how it works. You need to put a report, explain the details, the technical overview. You need to of course mention the executive summary for the C-level executives in your client's organization. As well, you need to put all of the you need to bound by everything or by the boundaries. You need to adhere to the boundaries mentioned in the agreements, and these boundaries are mentioned in the scope analysis of your report, scope analysis part. So pen testing reporting in this course is mentioned and explained in a very well manner. Okay, week 4. Coding, it gives basics about Python. You can refresh your knowledge about Python in here. And in forensics, so here say beginner digital forensic lab. Oh, there are labs. No. What was that? It's the first time I see this. Look at that. It's sense. Okay. All right. So let's go now to the 6th course. Okay. The 6th course is cyber threat intelligence. Now, cyber threat intelligence. If one of you guys have taken this course, cyber ops. I've taken this course before, but imagine I forgot the name. Cyber threat intelligence is kind of like cyber ops. Of course, cyber ops is more comprehensive and focused. But this course, I like this course. It's for those guys who want to dive or get introduction about cyber threat hunting and threat intelligence platforms. And it has labs, by the way. And the labs in this course, cyber threat intelligence, all of the labs are provided by IBM. You will get hands-on skills on using IBM security information image management tools like IBM Qradar, and of course mobile security and endpoint protection with IBM endpoint protection. No, IBM help desk administrator. I couldn't remember the name. You name it. Okay, so this course has hands-on labs. So here you see the threat intelligence, but I want to show you the labs. The labs. No, go back. So here, threat intelligence sources. I'm not sure if this is here. Nope. Week 2. Apply data protection. Oh, okay. So here you have lab on data protection. You will use IBM Qradar to do, as you can see, no, Guardian, IBM Guardian. The IBM Guardian, you see, you have lab. If you click on that, you will be directed to IBM website, create an account, and you'll see your labs here. So labs on cyber threat intelligence, labs on incident response, and labs on penetration testing. Yeah, IBM Qradar. So in this course, cyber threat intelligence, you will gain hands-on skills on IBM Qradar and a security information event management solution for incident response teams. And here on data protection, you use IBM Guardian to implement data loss prevention and of course to scan for sensitive information in databases. Of course, it does kind of vulnerability assessment for databases. That's a very good feature. Mobile endpoint protection. You will use IBM MAS360, for implementing security policies on mobile devices that are brought to your organization by your employees. So if the organization has PYOT policy, so we can apply the PYET policy to provide endpoint protection and security to enforce security policies and to ensure that all mobile devices on your network are protected using IBM something. Okay, same as Qradar. For threat hunting, you will use IBM 2 Enterprise Insight Analysis, and of course, incident response. As I told you guys, there's also a lab here, but not all of these labs are required for you guys. So these labs to gain knowledge, they are not mandatory to pass the course. So you see, you can mark this as completed, and there is no need to do the labs in order to pass the course. But the labs are very important to demonstrate the title of this course. The title of this course is IBM Cybersecurity Analyst. There is no analyst who cannot work on these kind of products. I'm not saying that you should go out there and gain hands-on experience on every single security product. Of course not. But at least, guys, you need to take a look at these labs. Just, see what it looks like from the inside, the dashboards, how it works. Maybe someday your company will acquire one of IBM products, or your clients, or you recommend one of the products to your client. You need to have a good idea about these products in order to recommend that for your clients, or for your company if you are working within an internal team. Okay, that's for cyber threat intelligence. That's the unique stuff about this. Now let's go to the scary stuff. The seventh course is Capstone. So in this course, guys, what you will do here, you will attend the course. All of the weeks here talk about the cybersecurity breaches that happened in the past, all the way to 2020. They dissect every breach, how it happened, why it happened, what were the reasons, who were the threat actors, what are the vulnerabilities that the threat actors have exploited, and what are the remediations that have been used in order to avoid the attacks or patch the attacks. Of course, it provides details about the costs that have been incurred when the breach has happened. So week one, the same. Oh, it talks about NIC as well. So second, case studies. Yeah, case studies on phishing. And week third, third-party risk assessment. But let me show you the assignment. So of course you need to pass the quizzes, but the assignment here, you need to submit a kind of assignment. You need to pick up an example of one data breach that happened to a company. And then you need to take that, put it in a presentation, explain the timeline of the breach, the cost that have been incurred on the organization which has been a victim of the breach, why the breach happened, how it happened, etc. Now, everything from 1 to 7 seems kind of, less challenging, right? So you can just read the course, do the quizzes, and you're done, right? Now, the final course, it is not what it seems like. So the final course, guys, it's only assessment, right? So It contains week 1, and week 1 contains one orphan assessment. Of course, graded assessment, but you have one practice assessment. You can do that for on practice. But this guy here, he's the bad guy. It took me, guys, it took me 4 attempts to pass this assessment. And the questions are not easy, are not straightforward, they are not medium level. In order to pass this, I'm going to give you the bottom line of this, okay? The assessment is 70 questions. The passing grade is 80% or higher. And let's go to feedback. I can't view the feedback, I think. Honestly, I cannot. So it contains 70 questions. The passing grade is 80% or higher. If you get 79%, you will not pass. And the factor that most of you will hate, guys, is when you fail the assessment, you will not have any chance to view what you did wrong and what you did right. That's one of the most important factors that actually 70%, or let's say the only factor that makes this assessment very hard to pass. And for me, guys, I concur and I second with IBM for this. You know, the assessment or the certificate or the value of that certificate shouldn't be compromised by making the assessment easily passed. Although I struggled with that, but at the end I did it. I passed the exam. And my take on this, guys, if you are one of those guys who are active in this course, or if you have arrived to the end of this course and you still haven't passed this exam, and you were thinking that there is some bug in the grading, or the assessment has been put in a way not to allow anyone to pass. I thought that because it's very hard, but believe me, guys, all you have to do to pass the assessment is to go back. If you haven't passed, go back to every single course. All right. Make sure you will ingest the knowledge. All right. Make sure you are fluent with every single concept mentioned, because the questions over here, they are not straightforward. And let me say, oh sorry, let me say 60% of the questions are field work questions. They're not labs, but in order to answer right on these questions, you need to have field work experience or practical experience in the cybersecurity analysis field. Right? The 40% of the rest of the questions are tricky questions. These kind of questions that when you look at the questions, you see that you think that you know the answer right away, but after you answer, it turns out that the answer was wrong. So 40% of the questions are tricky. You need to take a look twice at the question before answering, before deciding on or answering right away, or to improvise on answers. Now, this assessment has created a heat on discussion forum. If you go to discussion forums, click on week 1. So as you can see, most of the people here are, resenting, are complaining on this exam. So time consuming, I have a solution to this issue. Basically, the exam is too long to read on. Big error with IBM. I wrote this actually. I was one of those guys who thought that there's an error in the assessment, but it turns out it's not. This guy is saying I'm stuck at 78%. This guy is always showing 73% for him. The test here, guys, is if you do the test like 4 or 5 times, the grade that will be shown to you is the highest grade that you achieved among these 5 times. So let's say you achieved the first time 68, then 70, then 56, then 75, and the 5th try was 78. The 6th try was 40. So what's the final grade will be? And every time the final grade will be your highest grade. So you may think that there is an error in the grading, but it is not, believe me. I thought it was. Okay, that's my take on this. That's my perspective on this course. It is worth the effort, it's worth the time, it's worth the money, okay? And at the end, you will gain this title, IBM Cybersecurity Analyst. So it is not an easy title to bestow on someone. So now to the cool part, how the certificate looks like. Okay, so this is a certificate, guys. Okay, so it looks like this. You have the title, IBM Cybersecurity Analyst, and your transcript of the courses that you have taken. And of course, for your employer to understand and get an idea about what you have learned throughout this course, here's an explanation. And of course, very important, guys, is the verification of the cert. Your employer can verify the certificate from here. They can visit the URL and they can see the certificate hosted on Coursera, right? That was one of the long videos I talked about when I reviewed certificates, guys. I'm sorry, guys. But the certificate worth it. Consider it. And of course, if you let me tell you something, guys. Now, this course, IBM Cybersecurity Analyst, or whenever you approach any vendor certificate, right? You need to understand if the level of this certificate. Now, this certificate is not beginner level. It is mid-level certificate. It is not senior level certificate, of course, because of course, as I told you guys, there's only one course has hands-on labs. A senior level certificate contains many labs, of course, and C-level knowledge. Now, this course is, I'm not going to say beginner, I'm not going to break your heart, but it is mid-level certificate, okay? Mid-seniority. So if you have passed CompTIA Security Plus, okay, no. If you have CompTIA Security Plus and you want to, scale up, you can take this course. But if you have CompTIA CASP, Advanced Security Practitioner, or if you have, I don't know, this is on the defense side. This is blue team certificate. It's not red team. We're not talking about ethical hacking or pen testing here. So the certificate is equivalent to CompTIA. There was one, CompTIA Cybersecurity Analyst or Cisco Cyber Ops. So if you have one of these, you don't need to take this. But if you want to expand your certificate portfolio, take it. All right, guys, that was it. Thank you so much.